Alright, so what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now, just yesterday we had the official reveal for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, the reveal event was pretty decent. We got the new trailer at the end of it, as expected. But the meat of this reveal is in the blog post that they gave us. Now, they went really in depth with a lot of stuff. It's actually surprising how much stuff they talked about. So, if you don't want to sit there and read through the entire blog post, you can watch this video. I'm going to do that for you guys. You can just listen to my voice. If you want to read this for yourselves, then go down in the description below. I've linked it down there. But without further ado, we're going to get right into this because there is a lot of stuff to unpack here. So the first thing they talk about is the campaign. Now, you might not be interested in the campaign, but what they're doing this year actually sounds really good. So the first thing they talk about is how it's basically a direct sequel from Modern Warfare 2. It picks up straight away, essentially fighting Makarov. And the main thing that is interesting to me here is the open combat missions. Now, this was leaked before where it was going to be a sort of similar thing to the raids where it was like a more open, more accessible, I suppose, thing for people. What I mean by that is that you can do what you want. You can complete it the way you want. Like you can go in stealthily or you can go in guns blazing, essentially. Not only is this a type of mission that's going to be in the campaign, but we've also got the original ones coming as well. So I'm just going to read out this paragraph here. Open combat missions are an exciting innovation to the Call of Duty campaign. Not only do these complement the cinematic missions you've come to expect, but they also provide you with numerous additional choices regarding your methods of mission completion. For example, if you prefer to use stealth techniques, which I do myself, you may wish to undertake an OCM with a lights out approach using night vision goggles and suppressed weapons and complete your objectives without your adversaries knowing you're there, blah blah blah. But basically what they say here is that open combat missions let you do what you want, but we also have the normal missions as well. So it's kind of interesting. I want to know if we've got like the normal missions, like we have the normal campaign, and open combat missions are sort of like Black Ops 2. If you guys remember Black Ops 2's campaign, it had the whole branching storyline, but one of the things that affected the story in that game were the side missions, which it wasn't really too interesting, but I'm sort of wondering if this is going to be a similar thing where it's like, it's an extra piece. It's like a side mission to the main campaign, but like they say here, it lets you do what you want, you know, your way of completing it. And I imagine if it did affect the story, they probably would have said that because that would be something I'd want to advertise. But that's the main thing with the campaign. They don't really give us too much information, but I'm kind of glad it looks really good from the trailers and stuff. The next thing is the multiplayer. Now, the multiplayer is a lot of good and a little bit bad in my opinion. So the first thing that they talk about is that it's the 20th anniversary of Call of Duty. If you didn't know that, this game is probably older than a lot of you guys. But we've got the original Modern Warfare 2 remastered maps confirmed. So they go here and list every single one. Afghan Derail, Estate, Favela, Karachi, High Rise, Invasion, Quarry, Rundown, Rust, Scrapyard, Skid Row, Subbase, Terminal, Underpass, and Wasteland are all fully remastered, all built from the ground up, so they're not going to look like let's say Terminal, for example, is in Al Mazrah, but it's not going to look like that. They all have their original looks, which is really cool. They talk about a brand new mode which is called Cutthroat, which is a competitive 3v3v3 experience, which I'm quite interested to hear more about. But they also talk about how some of the original maps, like Favela, for example, you couldn't play hardpoint to kill confirmed on them, but you can now. So it confirms those two modes, and it said they're basically advertising how there's loads of different modes and ways to play these original maps that we didn't have before, which I think is quite cool. Now, we're going to talk about the core maps a little bit later on, but the first thing I want to talk about here is they have the 16 core launch maps, which we talked about just. We also have 3 brand new battle maps, which are the like ground war maps. They're going to be in Invasion and Ground War for Modern Warfare 3. And there's a single Colossal War map. Now, War is a game mode from Call of Duty World War II, if you guys played that. It was a decent game mode, but it had a lot of unused potential, and the way they describe it here, the single Colossal War map, it's only going to be one map, which is disappointing, so it's not going to have a ton of variety at the start of the game. But I like the fact that they're sort of expanding this mode, they're sort of making it, you know, unleash World War II's potential, basically. Now, back to the core maps. Unfortunately, the leak was true, how day 1 of Modern Warfare 3, the only maps that we'll have are the 16 Modern Warfare 2 maps, which are fully remastered. But they say here that over 12 all new core 66 maps will fuel post-launch live seasons. So they're basically gone ahead and confirmed that over the lifespan of Modern Warfare 3, we're going to get over 12 DLC maps, which is really good news. We were very light on multiplayer maps, I feel. Like, we weren't getting as many as we was in, say, Black Ops Cold War or even Modern Warfare 2019. But minimum 12, I think, is very good. I think that is probably about 3 or 4 a season, I want to say. But they say here that that's 12 all new 6v6 maps. So we're getting at least 12 brand new maps. That doesn't include remakes as well. We might be seeing original Modern Warfare 3 remakes. We might be seeing remakes, you know, across the Call of Duty franchise. And bear in mind as well, it's Sledgehammer. It's not just Infinity Ward. So they're not just bound to the Modern Warfare games. They can remake any other game. Or I should say any other map from any other game. Because Sledgehammer have been known to do that. They don't just remake Infinity Ward maps. They also do Treyarch ones. Now, they talk about a couple brand new features coming to Modern Warfare 3. The first one is the tac stance. Now, we got this leaked the other day, but they actually describe what it is. It's basically something that's going to be in between ADS and hipfire. So I'm going to go ahead and read what they say here. Breach and clear with the new tactical stance feature. Perfect middle ground between hip firing and aiming down sights. When entering tight hallways and cramped rooms, toggle tac stance on to improve weapon performance and win the fight. The operator unshoulders the weapon and holds it in a canted firing position. You can toggle in and out of tac stance dynamically while aiming down sights. Tac stance trades precise accuracy for improved mobility and handling. Some spread to your firing will occur, you know, because it's not fully aimed at sights. It is designed to use in aggressive close quarter combat situations. By default, you fire in tac stance while sliding. Now, I'm really interested to see this. It's all well and good them telling us about it, but I want to see how this works. Like, they say that it's improved mobility, so it's going to be, I imagine, a very tight ADS thing, but it's not going to be, like, you know, fully precise. But I want to see what they say about that. Is it going to be, like, you know, hip fire mobility with a sort of aim down sight thing, or how is that going to work? Like, I'm very interested to see how it's going to work, but there's not really a lot we can say here. But they also confirmed later on that we've got the Ninja perk coming to the game. It's called something else, but it's basically dead silent as a perk, but they don't say it's gear or, like, gloves, tactical boots, whatever. So it's kind of interesting. Like, are we going to have gear and perks at the same time? We also talk about aftermarket parts here. So this is going to be a new type of customization which lets you sort of change the weapon more so than, like, you're not restricted by the normal creator class. So, for example, they give one here where you can change a machine gun into a bullpup configuration. So, like I say, it's aftermarket. It's not going to be something that you'd probably see in the traditional military or something like that. So, I imagine the gun nuts are probably going to go crazy about this. But now, the next thing they talk about is the return of classic gameplay, which I feel is just a massive shot at Infinity Ward and their fucking stubbornness of not being able to, like, actually listen to the community. But they list off all the features that we've talked about over the past couple of days. Map voting returns, classic minimap behavior with the red dots. All chosen perks are available at the start of the match. The covert sneakers perk, which is the silent movement one, which we just talked about. And the core multiplayer health is increased to 150. All of this I've talked about before, but I just want to say this is all really good. I love the sound of it. But this is what I was talking about with the perks. They say the covert sneakers perk allows for silence movement, assuming you've chosen the correct footwear. So it sounds like perks and gear are going to be two different things. Now, I'm wondering if perks, it's going to be sort of like Sledgehammer's World War II game where you have one perk, but they might have gear on top of that, where the gear is basically replacing the old perk system. So you have perk 1, perk 2, perk 3, but it's like helmet, tag vest, boots, whatever like that. Then you've got one perk, which is going to be, let's say, the covert sneakers perk. If you use that on top of the silent boots, you'll have silent movements. But if you just use the covert sneakers or just the boots, you'll just have quieter. They also talk about movement in Modern Warfare 3 being responsive. You can cancel slide animations, but it doesn't refresh your tac sprint. Reload cancelling is coming back. Mantling is faster than you can mantle while sprinting. You can fire during and immediately after sliding. Tactical sprint durations are increased, depending on the weapon, obviously. And tac sprint recharges while sprinting. So, once again, this is just advertising that it's not Modern Warfare 2. It's going to be traditional multiplayer, but modernized, which, you know, we fucking need at this stage. Then they talk about the carry forward, which we've, you know, talked about in the past. We don't need to talk about that again. And finally, they reveal the zombies mode. Now, they give us one screenshot, which I'm going to show on screen here. And they also talk about, I don't know if it's in the blog post, but they've said that Treyarch is going to be making this. They say that this is going to be a Dark Ether zombie story set in the Modern Warfare universe. Now, I'm confused because I thought Black Ops Cold War introduced the concept that Black Ops and Modern Warfare are in the same universe, But they say here that the Modern Warfare universe is a separate thing, and Modern Warfare Zombies is a different thing. But they still say it's a Dark Ether zombie story. What's going on? I'm going to go watch Mr. Ruffle Waffle's video on that, because I'm confused. But for those of you who enjoy traditional zombies, this doesn't sound like it's going to be that. It's basically Outbreak, but it's revamped from what I've heard. It's going to be a PvE extraction survival experience, so I reckon it's going to be exactly like Outbreak, but just, yeah, with a couple of new features here and there. I personally am excited to check it out, but I can't say I'm hyped for it. When it comes to zombies, for me, I know I don't cover it here on the channel much, but when it comes to zombies, I prefer traditional stuff. I prefer, you know, round-based. Chuck me on the map, give me some zombies, give me a mystery box, a pack-a-punch, and just let the rounds flow. I don't like the whole looter-shooter extraction type stuff that Outbreak introduced, and it sounds like it's going to be the core thing with Modern Warfare Zombies. So if that's your thing, great. I'll check it out when it comes out. I'm not going to start hating on it now, but I just prefer normal zombies. So I'm not going to say I'm hyped for this. But that is pretty much all the core information that we got from the blog post. Now, they also talk about pre-orders and stuff. You can get like the Vault Edition and some extra skins and beta early access and campaign early access. All I know that actually, you know, is important from all that, I'm pretty sure the campaign is a week early, the same as Modern Warfare 2, which, huge thumbs up. That is one of the best things, best ideas they've had. But the beta, I don't think we have an official date yet, but if I was to guess, I'll probably say somewhere between September and October, somewhere around there. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you think of Modern Warfare 3 down in the comments below. Me personally, I'm really excited. I can't wait. I've said this before. I know it's scummy that they're, you know, basically taking the advice of Modern Warfare 2 and reselling it in Modern Warfare 3, but I get it's scummy, but I just want a good game, man. I just want a good game in this, you know, modern era of Call of Duty. And to be honest, the way that this isn't even Sledgehammer who wrote this blog post. I'm pretty sure this is just something that Call of Duty has done, and they're taking shots at Infinity Ward, saying that it's a return to traditional Call of Duty. It's not whatever the fuck they're doing, basically. So it's kind of interesting to me how they're advertising this as not Infinity Ward. It's almost like they're self-aware that Infinity Ward are just fucking things up, which I find really funny, personally. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like I said, let me know down in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.